Hey you guys, I hope you're well. Today's episode of JoziReal, I interview Blessing NYENYAI. I met him on LinkedIn. He is this inspiring entrepreneur who has gone through many careers, worked for many top companies, one of them being Alexander Forbes. Guys, his story is truly inspiring, and I'm glad to be sharing it with you today. For anyone who feels like they can't succeed, for anyone who is afraid to start even at the very bottom. I mean, this guy went from selling airtime and making a 50 cents profit, saving up enough to actually have enough capital to start his own business. So guys, you can do it. He did it. So just have an awesome time. Grab some popcorn, grab a drink, and enjoy today's episode of JoziReal with Blessing NYENYAI. Cheers. This is JoziReal. I am Marc, Lemaire. My guest today is Blessing NYENYAI, the founder and CEO of Legacy Way. Your passion for entrepreneurship and making the world a better place guided your journey to today. You were born and raised in Harare, in Zimbabwe, where you later moved to South Africa in 2010 to study business administration at the University of South Africa. You filled your extra time completing some part-time jobs while studying, and after graduation you were employed at Investec. After a few years, you left Investec to work for Alexander Forbes as the head of product development and launches. Your main inspiration is to see businesses transform as a result of getting in contact with the services that you provide, especially startup businesses who are starting from scratch to become massive success. Blessing, welcome to JoziReal.
It's a pleasure, Mark. Thank you so much for having me today.
Absolute pleasure, and thank you for your time. So, Blessing, I remember you reached out to me middle of June on LinkedIn. I just started publishing my weekly articles, and I was quite intrigued. Tell me about your methodology and how much time you spend reaching out to people.
Okay. So we spend so much time reaching out to these entrepreneurs, reaching out to these talented businesses in their various fields, because what we are trying to build and what we are trying to achieve is to build a platform for entrepreneurs, a platform for consumers where they can get as much information as they need to run their businesses. Especially SMEs, they are facing a lot of challenges out there. And of course, us entrepreneurs are the ones that have got solutions for these people.
Absolutely.
Government, they don't do as much as we expect them to do. So what we're trying to create is something for entrepreneurs. By entrepreneurs, we are people that have been in business for more than 5 years. So exactly know what business need. We exactly know what entrepreneurs need, especially during these times.
It's great.
So basically we've got different things we're looking to achieve that affect businesses. So we are looking at it from the point of human resource point of view, operations point of view. So we source out entrepreneurs in those different fields that can provide out to some content, that can provide their expertise to our platform to give us to businesses.
It's great, man. Great.
Yes.
So I remember you asked me to write an article for your new magazine titled Step Up Mag. You asked me to write an article on mindset. I find the idea honestly very bold that you are relying on entrepreneurs. I mean, I literally just launched Marc Lemaire Life Designers as a life coaching business. I'm still trying to figure out what my niche is.
Yes.
But here's you reaching out to me, and I'm sure to other people,
Yes.
to provide the content for your magazine. You're putting yourself on the line
Yes.
based on the talent that you believe other people have, which I think is amazing.
Yes.
So tell me, what is your idea for this? What experience do you have that wanted you to trust other entrepreneurs? I think that's more the question.
Okay. Basically, as for myself, I believe in entrepreneurs. I believe in business people because they are doing so much for our economy. They are the largest employers that we have. So it's a personal decision that I've made, to give them access okay, to the platform that you are building. Because a lot of these people, they don't have access. It might be because they don't have enough capital, you know, to access the mainstream media, or they don't have much exposure that they're looking for. So we've got brilliant products out there, brilliant services out there. So what we're trying to do on our business is to look out for those businesses, to look out for those entrepreneurs, and to say, you know what, hey, Marc, you know what, you're an expert in doing this. Can you just provide us with your expertise for our magazine? Okay. So at the end of the day, what we are doing is we are combining that expertise with that one of other entrepreneurs and bring everything together at one place, so that our audience, when they get to access whatever they are looking for, they get everything at one place, and they say, you know what, my mind has changed because I've read Marc's article on mindset. Now I'm seeing again this is something that can assist me in my operations. Now there's something again that can assist me in my HR. What I have to do right now.
Great, man.
This is what we're trying to achieve.
You're helping people by helping people.
Exactly.
So for me, this will give me some exposure, which is good. And you did ask me to write a second article for next month, for the month after, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yes.
But I think it's great. I mean, when you word it like that, to know that I can pick up the journal, whether it's electronic or printed, and I can see other startup businesses, it gives me hope, and also it gives them hope.
Yes.
I think it's a great initiative, and I don't see many people doing that. So really, I think it's great. When I spoke about your experiences, I wanted to talk about your life a bit more. Like, what are the key points you would say that were pivotal in fueling your passion to make the world a better place? Something maybe you experienced this in your childhood or while studying that you realized, I need to change this world, man.
Okay.
What is that for you?
Okay. Basically for me, I can say I was an entrepreneur since a young age, or as far as I can remember, when I was at university. Now, during those times when we were at varsity, during mobile telecommunication, like when people were buying airtime, they were not yet using purchasing like vouchers through our phones. So what we're doing is we're buying airtime in bulk.
Yes.
Airtime vouchers, then we start to sell. So I can say that was my first venture when I was still at university.
So you bought bulk airtime vouchers,
and
then you sold them to other people?
To students, actually.
I can see how that fueled your magazine idea. Right.
That was actually, we made a lot of money. I managed to persuade my friend, and we put some capital together. That was large money that we put together to do that. And we make a lot of money.
You must have sold a lot of airtime.
Buy airtime, coming with it to waste, just make 50 cents or 100 profit. But that was good money.
But that's amazing. I mean, if you're talking about you making 50 cents, 1 rand profit, what we're talking 10 years ago maybe?
Yes.
Give or take. So the rand wasn't great.
Yes.
It was better than it is now, but still, if you're looking at taking, let's say, 1 rand profit of every bit of airtime that you sold, you must have taken a lot of time.
Exactly. Plus, we had to buy it in bulk as well.
So you had to fork out that capital.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I learned some amazing lessons during that period, actually. Because that's when I found out that personally, my capacity, I'm not that of a salesperson. Like, I'm not able to really engage people. But I'm very good at managing people. So what I did during that time is actually employ some other students. I was able to convince them. If it's ladies, I could ladies that way selling my airtime for me on their residence. So that was actually pretty cool for me. So I ended up not myself selling anything, but I had people that were selling airtime for me.
Brilliant.
So it was a business that was.
I can see how that almost provided the framework for your new journal that's coming up. I think it's great.
Exactly.
So you said that was one of the pivotal points. It was very humbling.
It was very humbling.
Yeah.
It was very humbling. But my main focus, especially during when I was still at universities, I wanted to have something like a restaurant, like to be in the hospitality industry. That was more of a passion during those days. But when I get to find out all the capital needed and so forth, then I said, no, and this is not my expertise. Let me just leave it behind. But I did a lot of research in that area, and I learned a lot just by doing that. because I was able to leave even school and go to the city just to figure out how those industries are doing, contacting like the Minister of Tourism, contacting key points in the hospitality industry, just to get some sort of research information. So that one, it taught me a lot on what to do in the business field, regardless of whatever industry you are.
That's great, man. I mean, I didn't even know that. And, one thing I like to, the tagline of JoziReal is it's about inspiration. I interviewed someone a week ago who, all his life he wanted to be a professional boxer. His video should be coming out tomorrow. And he had a head injury, and he picked up the pieces and he opened his own gym. So I mean, for you saved up money, and one of your aspirations was to be a restaurant owner.
Yes.
And you did the research and you realized it wasn't your calling. You didn't just sit back and say, "Oh, what am I going to do?" And then feel bad for the world because you invested all this time and whatever it was in becoming a restaurant owner. You actually changed and you decided to do something else, and that's great. It's again another person who's picked up the pieces and who's made something great of it. So and the whole idea is to interview this like normal people, not these famous guys. So people can relate to your story, they can relate to Sylvester's story from last week, and I think that's so important. So thank you for sharing that. I didn't even know that. So this now answers the next question. So it's good that these things are never planned. But so the next question was, you worked for Investec and Alexander Forbes, which are by and large well known in South Africa.
Yes.
Was it always your plan to work for big giants before starting your own company, or did that just you realized Investec wasn't nice and Alexander Forbes wasn't nice, or did you solely go in to gain experience like you did with the hospitality? How did you leave Investec and then Alexander Forbes and now CEO of Legacy?
Okay, I can say my journey after university, actually, it was sort of a default. So, if you are at university, especially when you're studying, there's a lot of peer pressure, like in the professional world, like what are you going to do, where are you going to work, and so forth. So sometimes you may later find out that, it's not really what I need. We're just doing it because we want just people to say, we're working here and to learn. But it's not exactly what you want. So basically, I can say for myself, yes, I really wanted to work some big guys, just to have the feeling of how it feels like, and to have some sort of exposure, and to learn, the hard course of business. I knew, of course, that I'm a business person. I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. That one I knew. That even if I was working for those guys, I knew I'm not going to be here for long. That's what I knew from the back of my mind. So I was just there to learn. And I was just there to really know how it feels like to work for those guys. And I can say for sure that yes, I learned something valuable from them, especially my field. That was product development. To learn how to successfully launch products. Because there's a lot that goes into it. And it's something that, again, that we do in our agents, because in business development, if we are developing products for these entrepreneurs, if we are launching their products for these entrepreneurs. But there's a lot of it that goes into it from the capital perspective, time intensive. So there's a lot that happened behind the scenes. So I can say that I learned a lot, like how to make your product a success in the market, how to communicate with your ideal client, how to get them, why to get them, all those operational processes. I really learned some valuable lessons.
I can see it. Yes. You reached out to entrepreneurs for your magazine.
Exactly.
I was hooked like this. It's I think that was great, man. So you obviously learned grit and you got a backbone for dealing with the pressures of launching something, even though you weren't the CEO of those companies, obviously, because otherwise, you'd stay there.
Yes.
But you still had that same pressure and the same responsibilities. And I think it contributed to your confidence.
Yes.
So the message, I'd like to read from that, and I'm sure you learned it, was that, to those watching and to those listening, like, no matter what happens with your vocation, like, anything can be a learning curve. It will make you better for the next step.
Exactly.
And whether you choose to quit something or whether you unwillingly are let go or retrenched during these hard times, there's always lessons to be learned. And mean, Blessing went from selling airtime for 50 cents profits to having enough capital to wanting to be a restaurant owner and then nothing at all, and then working for big giants. And now, finally, after how many years? Let's say?
I think it's 10 years back.
About 10 years of that grit, he's only launching Step Up Mag August. You know, if all goes well. I know your graphic designer was ill with COVID, so it was delayed. But I mean, guys, that's amazing. 10 years of thinking you know what you're doing, and then thinking that was your passion, and then changing and realizing that it's all for experience. You know, I think it's great, man. I really think it's great.
I think I also need to add something.
Absolutely.
On that, Mark. Because actually the idea that inspired me most to start, especially the Step Up platform. Like I said, that was not the idea back then. See, but because I've been in business for quite a long time, you get to understand people that you're working with. Because basically we're a business-to-business organization. So if you're working with the business people, entrepreneurs every day, you get to know exactly their concerns, things that affect them the most. What is their need, especially right now? See? So that's when I decided to say, you know what, these people, they really need a platform. They really need some sort of this thing. So, but why can we do something about it? We are not there yet, but of course we have to start somewhere. So this is the platform that we have decided to say, Lord, let's build this thing and let us bridge the gap. And I can tell you that it already got amazing and overwhelming response from both sides. From the audience side, I can tell you the amount of subscribers that have subscribed and they're waiting for it.
Oh, fantastic,
it's so amazing. Man. It's so amazing.
Oh, fantastic.
Just waiting for it. And just to think of it like why are they so hungry to have this thing? That's why I'm not taking it lightly, even the type of content I'm going to put it there, the type of entrepreneurs I'm going to put there.
Because your market is so vast. Anything can be inspiring to anyone. I mean, that's leading to my next question. So, you know, or the next topic rather, it's, you know, I love the idea of sharing inspiration with the world and showing and supporting the transformation of people's lives. You know, so one of the reasons I'm doing the whole JoziReal show is to introduce success to the world while mapping out the journey and transformation that people have gone through. You know, it's to inspire people who might feel unmotivated or who believe that their idea isn't good or that they can't pick up the pieces after something has failed. You know, it's you know, I don't want to quote Batman, but it's, you know, it's not about how hard you fall, it's about how many times you can pick yourself back up. But that's what it is. You know, it's for those who have limiting beliefs, and there's a lot of talent and successful people here in South Africa. It doesn't need to be these famous Bill Gates or Tony Robbins. I mean, those people are great and they have their own journey, but South Africa's got talent, guys. And I want to do this, and it almost sounds like you want to do the same with your platform. You know, what I'm doing is it's not life coaching. It's not meant to be, you know, it's for awareness and everything, but it's more to inspire people. You know, it's about inspiration. That's what it is, and I believe what you're doing is about that same inspiration and more about motivation.
Yes.
Like as you said, you're choosing, you know, far and wide media and content because someone out there is going to resonate and say, "This is awesome, thank you."
Exactly.
And I think that's great, man. Well done. So, you know, now to the question: can you offer some advice to those who are watching or listening? You know, advice from your experience or to never give up. Anything that you believe, if you could summarize your success secret, what would that be?
Okay. If I could give some advice, okay, especially in this area of entrepreneurship, I can say it's all about be resilient in what you are doing, in what you believe, and also be consistent. You have to be consistent. Like what you just said, that it doesn't matter that you have failed, but it's about the lessons that you're going to learn. You see, to the whole world you have failed, but to yourself you have learned something valuable. And when you're coming back, you're going to be much better and you're going to do more. So it's one of the most advice that have pushed me, that have also propelled me to be here even today. And also I can say, every day you have to own your morning. That's what I want to call it.
Own your morning.
Yes, you have to own it, so that you can be able to own as well your day. Now, if you start your morning on a negative state, if you start your morning already in a defeated state, then your whole day especially if you're an entrepreneur. No, it's something else if you're employed. But if you're an entrepreneur, your mindset is very important. Like your emotional state is very important. So you cannot imagine to start your day on a negative state or on a low bar. You are going to do whatever it takes, to keep your mind on a positive state. So it's different for different people. Some people maybe they want to exercise, them to like to feel like it.
Yeah, exercise is definitely one. It gets those endorphins up very high.
Exactly.
Definitely. What do you do?
I like meditating.
You meditate.
Yes.
To be honest.
It put me, in the state that I want. So it's what I've learned today is that what really gives me that passion, especially during my early mornings. So it's what something that I do consistently every day. Doesn't matter how yesterday was, but today I still want to face today.
I like that.
Yes. So if you're in business, if you're an entrepreneur, it's something that you have to do, because it's not always that you will feel motivated. Sometimes you have to look for it.
You won't always have a good day.
Yes.
There's this something I remember reading or watching.
Yes.
You sometimes get confused because there's so much good content out there. You watch all these people, but basically it was you can't expect to have a good day every day.
Yes.
Chemically, you can't. You need a chemical balance in your brain.
Yes.
You can't always be on a high. So your body and your system and your brain and your functioning needs to have bad days and good days. Otherwise, you have too much dopamine. Or if you're constantly in a state of negative mindset, you're in a constant state of cortisol and you feel depressed all the time. So it's important, as you say, to even if the day was bad before and it ends on a high amount of cortisol or stress, the next day you say, all right, it's a new day. Yesterday was bad. You meditate or you exercise to get those endorphins up, whatever works for you, and you start the day on a high. And I think that's so important. It's so
very important.
It's good that someone else can actually resonate with that. I mean,
very important.
Sometimes it's nice to sleep for another 5 minutes.
Exactly.
I'm guilty, but exactly. Get up and you go for your run. You do some push-ups, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Oh, good man.
And I say, because at the end of the day, we are a leader. You have to make a decision. Okay? You're a business person, and your decisions affect people. If you don't make a decision, you are not going to make the payroll manage. So we are affecting families actually. So you can see you've got more much responsibility than you think. You can think in your mind. So to be a business person is so much responsibility. That's why I've got a passion, especially for these people. That our leaders are not giving them as much attention as they ought to receive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the fact that the way you spoke now, you said something quite key. You generalized and you said you are a leader. And I love that. You're basically putting out the message that anyone and everyone can be a leader.
Exactly.
Whether it's the head of the household, whether it's an actual leader of a team at work, or whether it's just the head of yourself.
Yes.
Take ownership, be the leader of who you are every day, and just do your best.
Yes.
I remember watching a story by Aaron Marino. He's on I Am Alpha M. He had a rough story, but at the end of it, he talks about his badness and all the stuff he had bad in his life, and he says, he remembers every day that it can get bad. So he says, Aaron, don't fuck it up today. He says it like that, and I think it's so true. And if you do, it's okay, right?
Yes.
What counts is, can you pick the pieces up and be good again?
Exactly.
Right? And I'm sure you've told some stories of yourself where you felt like you had no way out, and you just carried on.
Yes.
And I think that's amazing.
Exactly.
So, if there's anything else you want to add about that, feel free. Success secrets or ending words to inspire people. If not, for those watching and listening, guys, personally, I believe this initiative is excellent, especially for, during these unprecedented times. Just having a platform that supports businesses and supports your growth, I think it's great, and I 100% back Blessings initiative. I think it's a great idea, and I encourage anyone watching and listening to get in contact with him. I'll put your contact details on this link to the video, and as well as on the podcast. We'll still figure out how that's going to work, but it'll happen, and then people can get in touch with you, so I'll get those information soon. But now's your chance. Sell your brand and your magazine.
Thank you so much, Marc, again for the opportunity. Now, all I can say is, you guys if you really aspire to be in business, or if you're already in business, it's so important that you get your hands on this magazine. Like now, it's so much easier to do that. You can just go to the website, just subscribe, put your email there, your phone number there. Then you're gonna have your edition. You're gonna have your issue every month. And this is gonna inspire you in every area that you need advice. So if you are starting out, where to start, how to do it, all the advice that you need. If you're already in business, you're facing challenges, how to overcome those challenges, you're also gonna find advice in those magazines. So for now, I can say, just say, go for Step Up Magazine. It's a wonderful platform for entrepreneurs, wonderful platform for business owners.
Wow, pretty good. Right, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Blessing. Thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure, man.
Look forward to the magazine.
Yes, cheers. Thanks a lot.